What up, YouTube? Still getting it together here. It's fine as people trickle in. Perfect. Nailed it. All right. See how we can get this going. Wonderful. All right. Can I pick that mic up a little bit? Maybe I can. There you go. That'll be what it'll be. All right. 2 people on YouTube. So today we're going to play a little bit of Discover the Map as we go. It's the game plan, at least. Three people. I just don't want to start talking too much and have to repeat myself. Someone just popped off. It's fine. All right. So the year is 2007. The Democratic Party lost almost all of its positions in Congress in the midterm, which caused a small fraction of Democratic-leaning citizens to become like super aggressive and violent, like terrorist activities. And Trump and the Republican Party, the federal government at large, doesn't want to overtly deal with it, right? They don't want to send in the National Guard and squash their citizenry because they know that'll be super bad optics. So what started happening is local militia groups and stuff started going hot, shooting at and resisting the people that are aggressing upon their communities. And the federal government is just like ignoring that this is happening, right? They're not prosecuting either side. They're not investigating either side. They're just hoping that the dissidents quiet down and they don't have to have any bad optics and it can all go away. So our notional local community has begun to become plagued by one of these organizations, right? Our waterway was poisoned and a few citizens got sick before we noticed. They have shut down our power multiple times, always came back on. And now they're starting to conduct explosives and harassing fire and stuff like that. So we've gotten a group together and we have decided that it's time for us to do something about it. That is the situation. Because we know that they don't live in our exact community and the way the greater lay of the land off map goes, we've identified that it's likely they're operating in this large uncivilized area, this section of forestry along this river line. There's a large MSR going east to west. Here to the south of this location, we will be dropped off by vehicles at that point, anywhere along this MSR we choose, and be patrolling up north initially to try and identify what's going on. And then based off what that initial reconnaissance patrol finds, there'll be follow-on actions. Anybody have any questions? Does anybody? All right, so the first patrol is going to be a 6-man, 2-3-man team reconnaissance patrol. You can set up impromptu LPOPs as you decide, but we don't have any good idea what's going on in this area. We don't have good satellite imagery. Maps don't have a good updated version of what's going on out here. It's largely just unused land. So because we have a lack of information from map reconnaissance, we don't have the ability to establish ahead of time, hey, we want to set LPOP up here or there. So it's going to be totally on that reconnaissance leader to dictate what he does in order to gain all the information he can from as much of this area as he can. All right, the square size we're working with here, each of these little hash marks is 100 yards. And then as the map's revealed, you'll see there's longer lines and longer, bigger grids. Those bigger grids are 1 click, so 1,000 meters. Who would like to be the first squad leader for this 6-man patrol? Anybody? Perry, Goodnight, Heidi, Mercury. Who wants to go?
I literally just got here, so I missed the whole brief. So sorry.
I'll give it a go.
Yeah, sure. I'll go over real quick the condensed version.
I'll give it a go.
Yeah, sure. I'll go over real quick the condensed version since everybody just rolled in. Basically, Democrats lost a bunch of political positions in the midterms. They're officially eradicated, which means all the extremist individuals that lean that way are now becoming terrorists. And the federal government doesn't want to do anything about it because it'll be a bad optics. So local citizens started violently resisting those terrorist groups in their area. And the federal government is not going after either. They're just kind of like ignoring that this is even happening. And so it's up to you to defend yourself against these situations. Our community has become under the plague of one of these groups. Based on larger situation, we believe they're operating in this area. We don't have good map reconnaissance in this area, so now we're launching a 6-man reconnaissance patrol. The way we're getting here is this main MSR traveling east to west here. This main road, MSR, main service road. Who wants to be squad leader?
I know Hildy said yes. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Sounds like the scenario pulled right out of the troubles, though.
That's the game plan. So we have 2 3-man teams here currently traveling in one vehicle. At what point along this MSR would you like to dismount? Would you like to just
the far right behind the hill?
Okay, right where they're at right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And then one of them goes up the hill, starts looking out, and then the other goes around the left side.
Right. So you can see based on this topography, this is like a shift clear face that they drilled out of this hill or mountain, whatever you want to call it, in order to put this roadway here. So if we want to go up, we're going to have to patrol out here and then come on up.
Oh, I see. Okay. Can I have the vehicle drop them off on the far left then?
Sure.
Yeah, and then go up that hill on the other side.
All right. So from there, where do we go?
Up the hill. Just right above it.
You see
All right, probably send one team around the left side of the bottom of it. Start going up that way while you have one team still stay back.
like that?
Yeah, start moving up. I guess push the blue team up to like the bottom of the hill, and then have the green team come to where the blue team is now.
What route do you want them to take?
Like down off to the left, and then up towards them. Yeah, just like that, and then I guess start to go up that hill, see what they can see.
All right, so you can tell off in the distance that there looks like there's some sort of man-made structure, some anomalies, but it's been heavily concealed, and you really can't tell more than you think you see too many hard lines off in the far distance this direction.
Yeah, I would say push one team up to the other hill across the little stream. Is that like a walkable stream, or is it like a...
You can cross it. It's about chest high, rifle above your head, but you can get across.
All right, I would send one team across while having one team cover them. And then once they're across and up that hill to where they have like a better viewpoint, you send the green team over to the left of the other hill.
To the left of the other hill. Here?
Far left.
Like over here?
like on the far left side of, that hill over there.
Like this?
The other hill. To the left of that.
The left of that, right here. Like that?
Yeah, like a flank.
Got
almost. Yeah, up there. And then I guess just keep looking out with the blue, see if you can get any more details on it.
Sure. All right, so you identify from that blue team, they can see that there is looks like an enemy trench system with overhead protection, heavily covered and concealed with natural vegetation, and there is definitely some troop activity in there. You're guesstimating a small squad or possibly larger. It's still pretty off in the distance, and they're definitely doing a great job of concealing themselves. So you don't have a ton of information, but there's for sure some activity out here.
Are we looking for a fight or just information?
You're a 6-man reconnaissance team.
I would say have the green team cover the blue team and get out of there, and then bring more guys back.
Okay.
You got the info you need.
All right, so you successfully exfil. You come back to camp. You let them know that you found a fairly large compound that sprawls at least a couple hundred meters wide, and there's at least a squad, possibly more enemy in place. All right, based off this, yeah, what's up? Go ahead.
Oh no, I just said sweet. Nothing.
Yeah, awesome. Yep. So that's a wrap for you. All right, based on that information, we are now going to plan a deliberate attack. We obviously don't have all of the map revealed to us. That's fine. You rarely do. We're going to have 3 squads. So we're going to need at least 2 people, an assault leader, and then a support by fire leader. So we're going to have two assault squads and 1 support by fire squad. So who are going to be my volunteers?
I'll take one. Barry.
Mercury will be assault squad leader.
Wonderful. All right, so you two, based off the information you have, start talking to yourself about a plan, like you're sitting at a round table together.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we got pretty good information on the west side. I mean, we can set up Hill 5 with support by fire pretty easily. We don't really know what's around the other corner, so I'd want to get eyes on that to see kind of what is tucked back there. If we can do like a squad attack from the south, or if it's better to come in from the west. That's my thoughts on it. What are you thinking?
Since we see most of the left side of the map, we could possibly put what's our support by fire asset? Do we have medium machine guns?
So this is all based off just civilian small arms, what we have available to us right now. So you're looking at a series of auto rifles or SPRs. You're going to have two 4-man teams in the support by fire plus that squad leader, and then each assault squad is going to have 3 4-man teams plus that squad leader.
Okay. Yeah, so definitely put SBF on Hill 5 and probably massed infantry over, or the assault over near Hill 7 possibly. The only thing is that that river is going to slow down movement.
Well, if you take the 2 teams from Hill 3, you can bound up the southeast side and see if there's a better avenue to approach. And that way, we can mass Hill 5 as the support by fire and kind of just check it out and see if it's a better avenue.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's send 1 assault team up that northeast side, and then have a team on Hill 5 as SBF or Overwatch for them.
All right, so are you guys ready to push? Do you know where you want to dismount on this MSR?
Yeah, you think that far left side of the road, and we can use the mountains.
Each squad will have its own group of vehicles, so they can dismount at any point of the MSR they'd like if you want to dismount at different areas.
All right, yeah, so I can go up the northeast side, so I'll probably dismount at the left side of that big hill, bottom right corner of the map.
Yeah, then I'll keep mine. We'll stay east or west of the river and kind of use Hill 1 and then bound to Hill, 4, and then work that way.
Yeah.
All right. So support by fire is getting off here. You want both assault squads here, or do you want one assault squad of support by fire?
Well, support by fire is on the west side, and assault's on the east side of the river.
Oh, did I get those backwards?
I think.
Do you want to send one assault squad with you guys, and we could possibly set up an L shape?
Yeah, I think that could work. Hooking around from that north side, or if we just do almost kind of set up like a raid and set up the corners, depending on how big the compound is.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that?
Yep. I think that's good.
All right. You begin to make your movements north. Correct?
A-firm.
Yeah.
Make any changes? Any decisions?
Have the green squad break off more to the right and start encroaching on that far right hill.
Yeah, be good to get eyes on it. See, have the elevation.
Drop back on the hill behind that second from top. Yeah, right around there. On West Skyline.
Okay.
All right, and I'm gonna send Blue Squad up to Hill 7.
Yep. Yeah, we can move. I would say up to Hill 4 would be my preference. It's kind of centralized, and we can cross right over to 5 when we're getting ready to assault.
Yep.
Okay. So they're at 4. Where are we going now?
Would you want to try and move the green up to get the eyes on, and then we can move our main element up? Or what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, start pushing Green Squad down Hill 6, hugging that right side of the map.
You want to leave this team here at 3, or do you want them to relink?
Have them relink with the main body.
Yeah. You would have made that call way earlier, but I didn't address it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got the full picture. What are your final plans to stage, and then let's get this cookie rolling.
Yeah, I think we put 2 teams from Blue Squad onto Hill 5 for support by fire. Push one a little north on the other side of the river.
Remember, we want support by. These guys have the equipment and the knowledge to conduct a support by fire more properly than anybody else.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So put SPF on Hill 5 and send Blue over with SPF hiding like on the backside of the hill below them.
Yeah, and then I think kind of
SPF.
Oh, go ahead.
SPF start opening. Green will start rolling, or have green start creeping up. Once.
All right, so now that we're all close and we're sitting here and we've got some guys that have been watching for a while. Whoop, whoop, whoop. If I can hold on to these damn magnets. All right, so what it looks like is we have about a small squad, a 6-man element or so, a large team, small squad in each of these 4 trench systems, and then a large command element team, another squad minus, team plus, that's command and control dispersed throughout those center buildings, but primarily congested in that very center building.
Yeah, I would say everything looks good except for maybe push Blue a little farther north so that we can kind of just lay down the base for it's a full west coverage of support by fire, and we can get anybody trying to leave once Green moves in.
Yeah,
That's my
I'm
thoughts on it.
just worried about geometries once the assault starts having fires masked.
Nope, that makes good sense too.
Do we have like a draw D or MLKOA for these guys, for our adversaries? Like, this is key terrain for them, stronghold. They're probably going to defend it. Do we know?
Yeah, realistically, to the scenario I gave, unfortunately, no. Right, each individual group is its own group with its own ideology. Right, these are random citizens that felt like they no longer have a political voice, so they've turned to violence. It's just gonna, they've been doing guerrilla tactics. They haven't seemed to, be after a stand-up fight with anybody. But we have no idea what their ideology or their game plans are once we get cooking.
All right. Do you want to kickstart this thing?
Yeah, we'll start firing in with the support by fire and see if that draws them in mass, or see if they're pretty good with their discipline.
Sure. So Perry, support by fire. How do you open up? At the cyclic rate or at the sustain? What are we doing? And for how long?
Yeah, I'm thinking the mad minute. Burn 2-3 mags a piece depending on how much we carried, and then just that violence of action immediately to kind of mask, the impact originally.
Right. Absolutely. All right. So support by fire opens up. They immediately get a handful of casualties, and the enemy starts to return fire as well. So far, it's not super effective. They don't seem to exactly know where our support by fire is at, but they're definitely landing within the football field of us, so they're getting close.
Does it look like the perimeter's holding, or are they all kind of grouping in? Does it look like they know to, kind of keep that 360 security, or are they all kind of rushing towards the chaos?
There's a lot of movement, but you're hearing from Green Squad that they still have some rifles that they see visible holding those rear trenches.
Okay. I think if we're going to do it, we'd want to have Green kind of assault through anyway. If this is the plan, just keep up the violence and momentum. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I'm thinking Green pushes into trench 3. SBF will shift fires to trenches 4 and 1, and then we can either choose to clear trench 2, and then we can have we just need a foothold in that compound, so we can take trench 3, and then Blue Squad can start looping through and take trench 4. I think that's what that is. Their top left trench. Yeah. So yeah, Green pushes into trench 3.
All right.
Yeah, just kind of bounding the teams up, and I think that's the best way to do it too.
It's tough.
That's warfare, boys. All right, so Green gets in to the trench system. They take 2 casualties on the way. They are now fully occupied in trench 3. They also have some enemy KIA in the trench.
All right, Green is going to start firing on trench 2 as well, basically just shooting north. Blue Squad will break off from SBF and start pushing to get online with Green Team on the west side.
Support by fire. Where are you aiming, and what is our rate of fire?
Definitely dramatically reduced. If Blue is moving up right in front of us,
Blue's no, sorry, my bad. Well, it's too late. You already made that on the call. On that call. Fuck it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're kind of in a weird place where we can't really. We almost have to lift. I think it might even be better to bound with Blue, so that you have that kind of 2 squad bounding, so that you're not really you're staying with that group, and you know where they are, so you have to keep eyes on.
Is it too late to fucking pull Blue back and send them around the right side of the hill? Just have them link up with Green Squad, so you guys can keep.
You can do whatever you want. I mean, it'll definitely stall the attack, but if you need to do that, you need to do that.
Yeah, well, it's not. I don't want to cut off SBF yet. Do we know how much ammo SBF is running right now?
Yeah, I didn't do all the head in my count. They're currently good on ammo. You have an estimated 15 minutes of suppression remaining. They're currently good on ammo with schedule.
All right,
And we're gonna shift in.
blue breaks down and links up with green squad, and they're gonna look to mass fires on trench, on that top right trench.
All right. How are we running the support by fire right now? What are we doing? Who's shooting and how much?
I would have everybody still shooting. We need to have some sort of shift signal. I don't know if they have some neon panels or some rat or foxtail or whatever.
Yeah, we have marking.
Yeah, so I would say just we're going to keep up the suppression as much as we can. So just shift, but keep just one level down from cyclic. I can't remember what the
sustained. So you want all 8 rifles shooting at the sustain rate?
Oh no, I would say talking guns at this point. So we're going every
talking
other
guns.
So that we
Got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
talking guns.
Kind of keep the ammo and reserves as much as we can.
Wonderful.
But
cool.
Keep up the violence.
Yep. So we still have effective suppression throughout the battle space. The enemy is able to make some moves here and there whenever somebody gets brave and they want to run from one piece of cover to the other. But the enemy does not have freedom of movement. We took 1 casualty from blue team as well as another casualty from green team as they've stayed in this trench. We now have 2 full squads, 2 squads minus due to casualties inside this trench system. We have effective support by fire on trenches 4 and 1. And there's still a squad minus here in trench 2.
Blue is going to assault that squad minus in trench 2. Green is going to continue fires on trench 4 and on the command and control team.
Support by fire. Do you do anything when they launch from one trench to the other?
I would increase the cyclic. If they're going to be moving out of the coverage, we're going to just use as much bullets as we can to kind of make sure everybody's down there.
Awesome. So you go cyclic, which absolutely helps facilitate our movement. We take 2 more casualties inside that trench system, but we get 3 enemy KIA. We now fully occupy trench 3 and trench 2. We're going at the cyclic. We have to stop at the cyclic. All guns are hot. And we now have 5 minutes of suppression remaining.
All right. Then we're going to shift and we're going to reduce as much as we can while just keeping some sort of pressure. So we're shifted all the way out so that we're not flagging any of our buddies, and we just kind of have like the minimum amount of suppression possible so that we're not running out of ammo here for the end.
Got it. So we've shifted all the way to trench number 4. We are taking accurate shots only, shoot only when target prevents itself. Switching more to a sniper line of thinking. All right, assault. What are we doing?
We're gonna start creeping west, try and take down that command and control team. Is that a building in the center of?
Right. So we have 1 building, 2 building. Let me redraw these. We got a building here, a building here, a building here, here, and then right there.
Buildings, are they single story, 2-story?
They're actually more like bunkers. They're not buildings. This is all out in the middle of the forest. This is all dug with e-tools and then with overhead cover, tree branches, and stuff like that. So these are like, a living room size bunker that's been dug into the dirt with, command and control field implements inside of it.
Any obstacles or anything, entrances to those bunkers?
No, they're just open.
All right.
Just open dirt ramp down.
We're going to go ahead and push both squads into those bunkers, and we're just going to continue firing west towards trench 4.
Okay. So we're pushing squads into these bunkers. We now control 3 of the bunkers. We have 2 enemy KIA. So there's 2 bunkers remaining and 2 trench systems. All of the fires is consolidated from one of the bunkers and trench system number 4, which is also under sporadic suppression by our support by fire. Support by fire, guns are cool. You have 2 minutes of suppression online.
Then I would give that order to only shoot if you can absolutely kill something. You know, if there's like a perfect target presenting itself, otherwise just kind of pulling security, watching the north, watching the east in case there's any QRF or anybody else coming to this trench system.
Absolutely. So that message is more to assault, right? You have your guns are cool. They can support you for a good movement, but you only have, you know, one more burst of actual suppression left at the support by fire.
All right, I'm going to ask for that one final burst just to kind of put their heads down and then push green squad. We'll push both squads into trench 1 and trench 4. Green's going to go into trench 4. Blue's going to go into trench 1.
Cool. So you get that suppression. It's there. It lifts at the last second, allowing green squad to move freely from one trench system to the other. Blue squad is able to move freely because there's no one occupying this trench system. They are now fully in it. They get 1 KIA. They shoot somebody in the back that wasn't paying attention in trench 4. We take a couple casualties clearing out this trench system. And we get 1 more enemy KIA. Now we have cleared fully all the trench systems, and we occupy trench systems 1 and 4. There's still a small presence inside this building. They no longer are really shooting at us. It seems like they're just scurrying around wild inside that bunker right now, probably destroying documentation and stuff like that.
Do we have any sort of explosives on hand?
No, sir.
Fuck. All right. Blue's going to continue holding security up north. Green's going to push in that bunker and say what's up to that final group.
Cool. Any other outside the box ideas before you do that?
You want to pull SBF into the compound and have them hold range?
What would you use other than an explosive if you didn't have an explosive? How do we accomplish that same intent without that item?
I mean, if you're able to light a fire, if you're able to...
There it is. Absolutely.
Out,
yes, sir.
All right, smoke them out.
Yep, cool. So green approaches. They successfully light a fire, and the fire burns. All of the branches hanging across. The person inside never comes out, and then you hear them scream as they burn to death inside. System cleared.
Sick.
How do you? What do we do here for like a consolidation phase? What is our follow-on actions?
All right. Green squad is going to push over to trench 1. Get their ace report. Well, we're going to get ace reports before we start moving anyone. Probably going to, once we get distribution of ammo and everything, we're going to set up a hasty defense looking mostly northeast as well as northwest. We can probably pull SBF into one of the bunker systems, and then we can start treating wounded and try and maybe potentially start grabbing our dead guys and trying to pull them back into the trench system or bunker systems.
Okay. Is this a piece of terrain we're interested in occupying, or we just wanted to destroy this area?
With the amount of guys we have, my immediate thought is just take what we can, destroy what we can, and leave. Because we have vehicles, we've been here, we torched it.
Well, even from a strategic point, right? I'm not trying to like take over or whatever. You guys have been doing awesome, but from a strategic standpoint, right? We're like in the gray area of the law, ousting a terrorist organization out in the middle of the forest, and if we've pretty much eradicated them, they're pretty much eradicated. There's no strategic gain to occupying this piece of terrain, right? It only could breed us the opportunity for the feds to decide to come out here quick this time or something like that.
Right.
Just a thought process.
Squad, conduct hasty TSC, looking for anything important, documentation, and then we're gonna start boogieing down south towards our extract.
Yep. I think that's solid. Guys. Hell yeah.
Good stuff, yeah. I like the hills being numbered too. That made it a lot easier to communicate. And, revealing the map, that was a good one.
A quick question: is there any consideration for like body recovery?
Right. So that's a logistical consideration. That just depends on what your logistical constraints are. How much time do we have to remain on target? Right. In this scenario, I don't think we're in that much of a rush to get out that we couldn't recover bodies. We probably have the logistics. It's not that far of a walk, a couple clicks. You could buddy carry somebody or bust out a stretcher or something, carry somebody. We have vehicles, right? It's not the end of the world where there's no fuel or anything like that. So we can, once we get to the road, we can call somebody to come pick us up. So I think it's pretty feasible, given the scenario, to recover bodies in this exact situation. But there's definitely situations where that's not the case. Unfortunately, the reason that America gets to say no man left behind is because we have unlimited logistics. We can just send, 300 guys to that mountaintop to control it temporarily to recover the bodies if we want to or whatever. Guerrilla fighter does not have that ability.
Right.
Any other questions, comments, concerns?
I saw Layman said, quick question, what about the fire that was lit? What's the question with that?
How to put it out, what to do with it after, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely part of the considerations. That's why everyone on the internet says MET-TC, because, it all depends. Are you in the middle of somewhere where there's like a burn ban and this is going to start a whole forest fire to destroy a city? Well, then maybe, you don't do a fire in that case. Is it, the Pacific Northwest where it's super wet and it was hard to even get this fire going? Then it's probably pretty okay to start a fire. Are you in enemy territory and it would be kind of cool if all of the villages for 100 miles burned down? Then, yeah, start the fire.
I missed you setting the stage a little bit in the beginning, but was just like chucking a bunch of fire just from the get-go a reasonable option? Or because you said there was a bunch of foliage and stuff on top of their position?
Sure. Yeah, once you got close enough to put fire on, yeah, you could have burned those structures down. Yeah, that would have been a thing you could have done for sure. But you still have to get close enough to set that fire, which is pretty much
right
at least within distance to toss something to it.
Yeah, my initial thought is if you're close enough to huck something in there, just keep going and hop in with them. And
probably if you're under fire and stuff, best bet is to clear it out. Yeah, I agree. Only if you once you dominate, right, when the script was flipped and we had domination of the space, rather than risk sending people in, then you can just burn somebody out. But if you haven't dominated the space, then you don't have freedom of movement that allows you to burn somebody out. I think is pretty much the way to word that professionally.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense.
Even in the in the Hollywood trope of the Huns have come in and they're like walking around setting all the village on fire. That comes after they come through and mop up all the men that are trying to resist, and everybody's like running and hiding. Then they start setting the village on fire once they dominate the space. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. All right, I think that that's all I really had planned for today. I know it's a little short, 15 minutes shorter than normal.
I thought it was good. I liked having multiple squads, like a little bit larger, while still being realistic with the size that you could muster in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to never say never, but platoon size is pretty much my cap. It's hard for me to imagine that a civilian militia could get more than 50 some odd dudes together and keep them together to actually maintain some sort of military campaign or whatever. Yeah,
I think command and control over 50 of your neighbors is even a little chaos.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else have any questions, comments, concerns about this, about anything? Happy to stay on and talk for a little bit.
Real quick, would you be interested in like minifigs instead of the little magnets, like the colored magnets?
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for whatever, you know. It's kind of all is just happening one day at a time, trying to figure out ways to make it better each time.
Yeah, I might be able to 3D print like little dudes for you if you're interested.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me think about that and let me message you, because I think maybe symbols might even be better than actual like army figurines. But
Okay.
yeah, definitely. Let me think about that for a while. I appreciate it. Who is that?
Fruitopia.
Fruitopia. Got it. Fruitopic, is that how you say it? Anybody else got anything for me? Mission passed, plus respect. Yeah, absolutely. They did great.
Just good stuff.
Yeah, man. Alrighty, guys. Well, I guess that's a wrap. I appreciate y'all for coming on. Appreciate everybody for viewing every time. Glad that this is a helpful thing for y'all. And I will see you guys next week. Later, dudes.
Appreciate it. Take care, man.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.